Forex Focus brought to you by IG, taking a deep look into the Israeli shekel, everything you need to know from recent price action to product specifications and how this market trades given all the recent news around the Israeli government. And as we'll see, maybe not too many people know, but the Bank of Israel also committing some actions in the last 24 hours directly affecting its currency. But let's start here. The Israeli government declares war on Sunday. And of course, so much news around the events that have taken place in the last several days. And currently, everything seems to be changing up to the minute. But what we're covering here in terms of the Israeli shekel, you saw dollar rising through highs year to date, shekel falling through lows, a huge move at various points. This market, dollar up 2 to 3% on shekel down 2 to 3%, which that's a big move in a single day for a currency. And this being the first 24 hours coming off of the weekend news of the Israeli government declaring war. Now let's put some more time into this. Looking at prices for this market over the course of the last decade plus, has not been this bad for Israeli shekel since 2016, as USD shekel has now hit its highest price in that time period. And of course, you go back to 2014, 15, and 16, and it's not a matter of this market being, 10%, 20% higher where relative to where it currently is. Around that 4 price that we are pretty closer than we have been in recent years. The market has peaked its head above 4 and then come back below and not necessarily traded higher than 410, or as you can see here, 420. So historical extremes in this market, and shekel getting beat up to start the week. We'll see if they can make some new extremes for the time being, a little bit away from what we saw in 15 and 16. But I also actually want to take a look with a finer lens, so to speak, at what happened, because this was some crazy price action to kick off the week for a number of reasons. I mean, first, if you like, gapped movement in the market, this was a pretty wild one. This market goes out the week around 385 and then opens around 395, climbs all the way up to 398. And then and we'll get to this here in a second, dollar shekel is not the most liquid market. I mean, you see some of this price action here, and it's chunky and weird because volatility is increased in this market. When one of the regions in a forex pair declares war, volatility is going to likely increase. But 2, it's not the most liquid market. It's not nearly as liquid as euro dollar or pound dollar or dollar yen. And so you see some weird action when those 2 ideas combine, and it can increase risk and movement. But also, you may not have seen this, the Bank of Israel intervened as well around that 396 to 398 price. And that's why you see that it may look like an error, especially if you're looking at the daily chart. I know the first time I looked at it, and it's not an error. The first time I looked at it, I was like, what happened? Why is it this market? It's up huge, but why is it showing that at some point it came all the way down to unchanged? The Bank of Israel intervened and pushed this market all the way down to unchanged for a couple of minutes, and then it bounced all the way back to around 395 and traded most of the rest of the day around that price point. So, huge gaps higher and lower, one off of the news of war being declared, and then 2, the Bank of Israel intervening. Now, where do we go from here? Well, theoretically, you would expect this dollar shekel market to move lower and the shekel to appreciate if fear is reduced or U.S. fear increases in some way, or U.S. interest rates have to be moved lower. Essentially, good things for Israel, bad things for the U.S. On the flip side, if fear increases, you might theoretically expect this market to move higher and the shekel to move lower. If the U.S. shows some greater force of stability or even higher interest rates, again, might be reason for shekel depreciation from here. And maybe they get to the highs that we saw in 2015 and 16. Really quickly, here's some market specifications. Israeli shekel can be more volatile than the popular forex markets that you're used to, has a margin requirement around 5%, and that can change, that can increase if this war is sustained, and that's relative to euro dollar being 2% margin currently. And the minimum spread here is 30 pips, probably more than the market that you're used to trading if you're trading in forex. But some of these other things are, easy to digest and easy to understand, at least if you want to watch this story, let alone trade it relative to trading euro dollar or dollar yen. Now, next piece is, where will this market go? Will it move to new highs, get more crazy than that 24 Gaza war period, or will it revert to more normal historical prices in the 350 range? We'll tell. This will be a really interesting story to continue to watch, to develop here. And of course, you can check out this market at IG.